Hi, I'm Wanda Wen. Thank you so much for coming to the Sulip Fix today. Happy New Year. I am so excited to introduce you to my lovely daughter, Simone Forsberg.
Hi.
I love
Thank you for having me.
Of course. I wanted to share this wonderful practice that Simone does in her beautiful Brooklyn studio. I was so inspired to see her kitchen setup, and I've always been so inspired by your ability to organize and how you make things look just beautiful to be in.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So why don't you tell us what you're going to share with our audience today?
Sure. So one thing that was really important to me in moving into my very small space was kind of consolidating things that I had a lot of, finding space for things that was intentional and that was going to be easy for me to kind of access on a regular basis. And one of those things was my collection of spices. And I had inherited a lot of spices from friends who were moving, and I needed a way to consolidate them. I also had a lot of jars that I'd saved from jams, from honey, all kinds of different things.
Yeah, I love that you repurpose and keep those jars rather than just dumping them, right?
I mean, they're great jars.
Yes.
Often.
Yeah, they're beautiful, actually.
Yeah. And there's no reason to buy a bunch of new jars.
Right.
So I keep them and I use them to store different things, but they also make for great spice storage.
So tell us what do you do?
So the first thing that I have to do is remove the labels. I like them to be clean so that when I have them all together, they look somewhat uniform, although the jars are different sizes and shapes, and I actually do like that part about them. But
to have them different shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
So good.
There's some variety, and they feel kind of, like individuals.
Right.
But
like they have their own personality.
Exactly. But I clean the labels off first.
Good.
So that I can see the spices, and then so that I can put my own labels on them.
So what's your trick about cleaning the labels? Because I try to do that, and then there's always the sticky stuff, and I hate that. And how do you take it off?
Right, the residue can be pesky and stubborn.
Yes.
Right? So what I do is I start by soaking the jar that I want to use in some warm water with dish soap, and I usually let it sit for about 15 to 30 minutes, just so that it really kind of soaks in there.
Yes.
So we've had this jar sitting in this soapy water for about 30 minutes now.
Hot water or?
Hot water,
Hot water.
Yeah, just from the sink. So after it's been soaking for a while, you can kind of check it along the way and just start rubbing off the residue with your finger.
I could see how it's rubbing off.
Right, so this one's coming off quite easily, actually. Yeah. I won't need any kind of abrasive for this one.
This was my honey jar.
This was your honey jar.
Yeah, local honey.
Some nice local honey, right.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful jar.
Right.
I would go to the store and buy that jar to,
Right.
I mean, I repurpose jars to drink out of, so this is a beautiful jar.
Yeah, so this one, I'm just simply gonna take the residue off this way, and then I'll give it a wash and let it dry before I put any spices in it.
So if you had to use an abrasive, if you were having a hard time with removing this residue, what would you use?
So I would start with an oil and try any kind of cooking oil. Olive oil works. You could use a canola oil or a vegetable oil if you have it. You could also use lemon essential oil, which can be quite effective to remove the residue from the sticker.
Nice.
And
you just apply it on here and just rub it off.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. And then obviously, giving it a good wash after with soap so that the oil doesn't also leave a residue. And if you're having a really hard time and need some abrasive, I've also used a piece of steel wool or the rough side of a sponge. Thank you.
The rough side of a sponge. Yeah. Okay. Wonderful.
Right? So that's it for the jar.
Okay.
And once it's dry and clean, you can start adding your spices or
Yes.
other pantry items
Right.
into them.
So why would you want to put these into another jar? What's the purpose?
Right. So if you have limited space, like I do,
Right.
I don't really have room to have two separate
Oreganos. Yeah.
in there. It also, personally,
Yes.
just from a personal preference point of
Yes.
view, I just like to have one.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
one
One
of each thing.
container of an ingredient.
Right.
Okay, so this is an opportunity to get rid of, let's say, I know that I have 3 jars of cinnamon, different jars, and but they're all the same ingredients. So yeah, put them into one
Put
container.
them into one container.
Okay.
So I have this jar that I've labeled for oregano. I'm gonna consolidate the 2 of those into here.
So where do you get these amazing labels? I love them. The pale yellow. Like, where do you get these?
So I actually love the color of the basic Post-it note. I think it's a lovely pale yellow. So I just use
Post-its.
Post-its. You can clearly, you can make your own labels using a label maker or anything else that you
Yes.
have. I just love to use Post-it notes, and I also love the way that people's handwriting looks.
Yes.
I like the kind of human touch,
Yes.
and I think it kind of adds some authenticity to
Of course.
your
And-
space,
Yes, and personality.
right?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Power of the handwritten, scribed word.
right.
Yes.
So
These are just Post-its. Love it. Yeah, I love the color because it's so calming.
yeah.
Yeah.
So these are just Post-its, and I just kind of cut them out to the size
So you write
of
on
the
it
word.
first. Yeah, you write on it first.
So I write on it first, and then I kind of cut around it, and I do try and make sure that the labels are somewhat uniform in width,
Gotcha.
and
I see.
also
Yes.
somewhat uniform in their placement on the jar, because you'll have jars that are shorter, taller, wider, and so when I'm placing the label on the jar, I try to make
see.
sure that they're
Like the same.
falling on the same level.
The same horizon.
Right.
Yeah, I see that these are all pretty much the same horizon. Nice.
Yeah.
That's a nice detail. That's why everything looks so good, because you showed me this picture of your spice shelf, and it just was so beautiful.
Yeah.
Aesthetically so beautiful. Yeah.
Right, so you want to, be mindful of the fact that the center of a taller jar might not be the center of a shorter jar.
Of course.
So kind of thinking about where that consistent horizon
Yeah.
line will be.
So these, you have it at about 2 inches from the bottom. Yeah, about 2, yeah.
I just kind of eyeball
Yeah.
it, but yeah.
Good.
Right, so if you want to put the oregano into this
Yeah,
jar.
let's do, okay. I
And
will.
in the meantime, I'll work on a label for our coconut that we're
Yes.
going to be.
So, yes, filling. So
Yeah.
I'm so happy that we're putting this in a glass jar, because how many of you have like rolls of opened ingredients and bugs maybe get in there, and you have them wrapped around rubber bands, and they don't really store that beautifully. It'll be so nice to put these in here. And I'm so happy that you're going to be here for a while, because I know you're going to get my spice area completely in shape. Okay, so you do this.
Okay.
Okay. So this is oregano, and I know that you're going to use these jars for something. What are you going to use these jars for? The little ones.
Yeah, this is a great question. I've used them for various things. Sometimes I use them when I travel to store small items.
Yes, actually, fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And these will, and this size will, I mean, you could even put lotions or
Yeah.
body oil. And this size will go through carry-on at the airport, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keeping in mind that the glass can be a bit heavy.
Yes. I could also see using these for jewelry organization,
Yeah, jewelry organization.
like small things. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So there's
Q-tips
that.
maybe?
Q-tips. Cute. Okay, so here's the little oregano jar.
Beautiful.
So you're making one
Add
for
it to our
coconut?
collection. Yeah, so I made this label for our coconut.
Uh-huh.
And I like to use clear cellophane tape just right over the top
Okay.
of the label.
Like packing tape or...
Sure, it could be a piece of packing tape. Maybe you cut the packing tape if it's
Okay.
a wide
Okay.
one. Or just any kind of clear wrapping
Yeah.
tape. Just right over the top with a little edge on both sides.
So basically the tape has to be wider than the tag that you just made. Or actually...
Or of equal width.
equal width. Okay.
Yeah.
So it has to be longer.
Slightly longer so that it will adhere to the side
Gotcha.
on either side.
I see.
So I'm just going to place the label here and put the piece of tape right over the top.
Should we bring that down? Oh no, it's nice.
Now we
Good.
can put the
So my
coconut
coconut
inside.
shavings.
What do you put these in?
Coconut? Gosh, I put them on my oatmeal in the morning. I use it mainly for my oatmeal. Sometimes if I'm baking, if I'm making granola, I put these in granola. So toasted coconut is delicious. Actually, toasted coconut, here you can do it. You'll be better at it. Toasted coconut is so nice. I also just love it as a snack. I mean, I'll bring a jar to my office and just snack on that. I'm one of those, I have a bad habit and I love to snack. So it's better that I snack on
I don't know if that's a bad habit.
Well, I mean, they say that keep your consumption of food at certain times so that it allows your digestive system to clear out during the day. I'm gonna make some granola later, so we're gonna use this all up later.
All right.
Okay.
So we've
Beautiful.
got the rest of the granola that you won't be, or the rest of the coconut that you won't be using
Yes,
in this jar.
we'll use that.
We can add it to our collection.
Beautiful.
Right, and so now they kind of look like a nice kind of cohesive group.
Yeah, and I love the colors. What I love about this also is that you're using clear glass jars and you can actually see the ingredients so beautifully. And it also, to me, as or anyone that spends time in the kitchen and cooks, that being able to see the spices is inspiring. And it inspires you to use them more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Good. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming to the Sue Lip Fix. Thank you, Simone.
Thank you.
I hope you'll come back.
Yes, absolutely.
And we'll see you, and Happy New Year. Happy organizing. All right. Bye.